Host of the Jim and Sam show, incredible WWE panelist and historian, one of the best brains I've ever been around, and he knows absolutely nothing about sports. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Roberts.
Yeah!
Guys, thanks.
Sam, AJ Hawk is starstruck right now, dude. This is the first time he's getting to meet you. Is that true or is that not true? And did you know he is a massive fan of your show?
Yeah, Sam, I watched the show going back. Going back in the day, so then when you took over with Jim, I'm sorry stepping all over you here. Jesus. I should have figured this out by now. But yeah, I've seen all your stuff, man. It's good to see your face and actually kind of meet you.
It's good to meet you too. I'm a fan of yours, except from this show and also from NXT, because you were on NXT.
True.
So that's where I know you from. And by the way, you're fantastic on both.
Oh,
appreciate that. Thank you,
guys. It started out bad, but I feel like it's getting real quick. Look at his friendship blossoming right in front of our eyes. Sam, for people that don't know, maybe watching you on YouTube, you were once an intern for a massive serious show. Then you became basic co-host of said show. Now you're still co-host of said show. Just did a new deal, I believe, with SiriusXM, cashing in, and you're really fucking good at what you do. Is that an accurate depiction of your life's timeline?
Man, I'm trying to find any flaw in what you just said, and I can't. It sounds like you read Wikipedia before I got here. That's perfect.
Well, I know you now, and I got to meet you at those NXT panels, and you helped me out so much. So I will ask you this publicly, although my entire strategy team will be kept privately until after the match because I don't want anybody. No, what do you think I should be trying to do in there, huh? Everybody knows the legs coming, Sam. Austin knows the legs coming. He's 24. He's insufferable. He's not dumb.
No,
he's not dumb. He knows that. So you think, pow, right in the kisser early? You think, is that what you're thinking, Sam? What do you think the mindset should be to go in and win this thing?
Look, he's going to be studying tape. Yeah. He's going to be there with Mr. McMahon studying tape. And Mr. McMahon's probably going to give him some tips, okay? Because I saw Mr. McMahon in there with you, and he was reading you the whole time. You know, he was thinking about the potential conflict because he loves conflict. I learned that. I think your move is to kick his legs out from under him to start. Because he'll go, okay, I watched him on NXT. He's going to try to kick me in the head. I'm going to protect the head. You kick him right in the shins. Break the shins to start the match, and he will never recover.
Oh, my God. There's a lot of this after that.
Like McGregor.
Yes.
Then you can go to work on the knee.
Yeah. Then I do a little pa-da-da, you know what I mean? Then you just kind of sit back. It's a punching bag.
Bottom up. You go from the bottom up. You stop on the toes, kick the shin, take out the knees, beat up the quads.
This guy.
What?
Hamstrings too, turn them over.
What?
Like, you know what I mean? Get the hammy in there. Bruise that thing.
Yeah. By the time you get to the pecs, you've won this match.
Hell yeah.
Man, that's awesome. Maybe the abs. He's got a lot of them.
Yeah. True.
He's got a lot of abs, so maybe about midway up. Go ahead, AJ.
Sam, what are the odds that Mr. Vince McMahon comes out and maybe gets a cheap shot on Pat, hits him in the back of the head, tries to instigate a little bit because Pat is kind of messing with his guy?
Yeah, no, I was thinking about that a lot. And here's my theory on that. Because at first, I noticed the camaraderie going on between Vince McMahon and Pat on the show.
Thank you. What the fuck happened? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I was like, maybe Pat is Vince's new guy. And I was like, how come Vince has never treated me like that? You know what I mean? He's like, I'm not going to do that Mark's podcast. I'll do Pat's podcast. And I was like, why do you do that? And then I went, wait a minute. What does Pat have to offer Vince McMahon? Pat can act as a catalyst to put Vince McMahon's guy in a high-profile match at WrestleMania. Pat is a high-profile guy. Vince McMahon wants to push Austin Theory as the next big superstar. What better way to make this guy a superstar than to ease Pat into a trust, only to stab him in the back when it counts the most?
Whoa, Sam.
Come on.
So, and you think that Vince is even like, he's the next guy, but like he's going to lose to Pat. Like you think that, obviously, like that's what you're thinking Vince is thinking? Like this guy maybe needs to be humbled a little bit because he did tell me, right, he had an ego there for like 6 months or whatever, and then he didn't. Yeah. So maybe he's doing this to teach Austin Theory a lesson. Like, hey, listen, Austin, You need to fuck. I'm giving you the world right now. It started with an egg. You remember this thing started with an egg? And now I'm giving you the entire world right now, okay? And you're getting a little bit too egotistical, a little bit too much. What are you doing? I'm going to humble you, okay? We got guys just floating around on the commentary table. All right? This is WWE. We got people just on the commentary table that could get in a ring and kick your ass. You think that is what he's thinking in there?
I don't know if you listened to my theory at all. Like, I don't know if like you went into Pat world for a while and then just waited for your turn to talk. I think
Probably.
Yeah, what I think is going on here is that you are being used.
No. That's why I just said I just gave an alternate. I just gave a very much an alternative side. And I think,
No.
Yeah. It was an alternative. Pat world. No, I heard what you said. Yeah, and it's not real. It's not real. I didn't feel that.
I'm the
I didn't feel that at all. Did you guys feel that?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, we haven't felt that. No, nobody came in. He was right here.
Come on, for
right
sure.
here. Don't be so jealous.
Mark.
Look,
His name's Sam.
you
but-
call me a historian, right? I'm not. It's not an anti-Pat thing. I love you. But the fact is that as a historian, I know something about Mr. McMahon. He's as evil as a human being has ever been.
I
He's a new
disagree.
man.
I disagree.
He's as evil as the day is long. And Pat, he's lured you into a false sense of security. And I do believe that you're going to find out. I don't want to see it. I want to see you go to WrestleMania, kick a guy's head off, take a selfie, do the whole thing, come back right here on the Pat McAfee Show with a big trophy that says WrestleMania King of the World.
Yeah, hell yeah. Woo.
That's gonna be
not gonna
awesome.
Here we go.
Hey, that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Hey, get ready for that, boys.
This is awesome.
Let's be
Here we go.
prepared for that.
Oh, boy.
Maybe we have another green beer keg in here.
yeah.
If that's gonna happen,
Sure.
I'd like some, and I need one of those rock cheat meals as well for
hell
the
yeah.
French toast stacked up. I need that sushi, the chocolate chip cookies, the pizza, the flapjack. I need it all. Okay, that's what I'm gonna need. Let's do that because did you hear what we're doing?
What?
Oh my God!
Trophy.
That is amazing.
Let's go.
Woo!
No, I'm saying that that's what I would like to see happen. That's not going to happen.
Oh, go to hell.
Mark. This guy stinks. You don't know what you're fucking talking
yeah.
about. Look at you. What do you know? You don't know shit.
For
pal.
shoot, you stink, dude.
Yeah, for shoot.
Yeah,
dude.
for shoot.
For shoot. Dude.
First of all, like, you guys can crotch chop at the Barclays Center all day long.
Yeah, goddamn right we can.
Part of the show. Part of the show.
This is the future of sports media.
Well, sports entertainment as well, pal. That's coming into your world. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, all right. Look, the bicep was impressive. That was
you.
an impressive.
I've been
that was
dieting.
great.
I've been dieting really
But
well.
I think, Pat, sometimes you get lost in your own hubris, and I think that
what
Mr. McMahon,
I don't like it.
Mr. McMahon sees that as a weakness, and I believe that this match with Austin Theory is designed to make Austin Theory Mr. McMahon's next big star. Mr. McMahon likes to make money. Austin Theory is money for years for Mr. McMahon.
Well, listen, if my hubris was your hubris, I'd probably feel the same exact way. Because then my hubris would be a fucking negative one. That's
right.
Okay? It
That's
would
right.
be, oh my God, gloom and doom, everything stinks. Why is this happening? Okay? That's not my hubris. Your hubris stinks. Okay? My hubris, good time. Did you hear what we're having? We're having French toast pizza, chocolate chip cookies, sushi, celebrating. I think you said a crown at one point. I mean, do you hear my hubris right now, dude? And then listen to your fucking hubris. I don't need that hubris, dude.
Do you know what hubris means?
No, not a clue. I did a context clue there, and I thought I figured it out, and it really said like your aura, your
No.
Okay.
Bone in your leg.
No.
Close.
No. That's not what that word
That's
means.
what about the humorous?
That's what I'm thinking
Humorous.
of. On your shoulder.
Yeah. No, that's not what that word means.
Oh, so what was the word again? Hubris.
Yep.
It's a sense of self-pride or confidence, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lazy definition if I've ever heard it.
This one was Google, I think, not the old-fashioned dictionary. Sorry about it. But obviously, I hope you're incredibly wrong. Sorry about all that. Go ahead, AJ.
Sam, so I don't know if Pat's worried or not, but I think I've heard rumblings. He's a little worried that maybe Logan Paul, Johnny Knoxville, maybe some of these guys may overshadow his appearance at WrestleMania.
Okay, that is
Bad
where
Bunny, maybe, I don't know.
No,
No, it's a great question because I watched the Logan Paul training video. They made a video of Logan Paul getting in the ring, and he's like, yeah, look at me. I'm going to jump off the top rope and everything. Listen, I would love to just destroy Pat McAfee on this one. But the fact is that every time Pat McAfee has stepped up, he's blown everyone away. Pat, and here's the thing that people need to remember. All right, I'm the wrestling guy here, okay? The Logan Paul match is a celebrity match. The Johnny Knoxville match is a celebrity match. Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory is a WrestleMania match.
Thank you for that, Sam. That made me feel, I just got some goosebumps here. About the same size as that head of yours. It looks like I got 1,000 of your heads on my arm right now. Thank you for that, dude.
It's true. I saw what you did. Look, here's what I saw. I saw you open a can of whoop ass on Austin Theory on SmackDown.
What?
I saw you beat him into oblivion.
What? I appreciate that.
I saw you make him think twice.
What? In these boots. In these boots, Sam. No grip on the bottom of these things. You see that?
My God.
By the way,
look at that.
You be doing yoga?
Pretty flexible.
Wow.
What is this all about?
I think Austin Theory's head print is still in that one.
Hell yeah. Actually, what you're seeing there is the residue of a mud hole.
What?
That got stomped.
What?
I'm talking about. Sam, what will you be doing for WrestleMania? I mean, I think the people that aren't necessarily all in on wrestling, they let me know that they're not all in on wrestling every time we tweet or post about wrestling because I am a sports show. But WrestleMania is such a spectacle every single year. Like, there's going to be numerous things that crack into the everyday world. What are you excited for? What are you looking forward to? And why should people who maybe aren't into wrestling look forward to WrestleMania weekend?
That's what I love about WrestleMania weekend, especially now that it's 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. People are going to be able, if you've ever watched a minute of wrestling, even if you haven't, you turn on Peacock. It's streaming on the cock. You turn on Peacock this weekend, and you're going to see the difference that Vince McMahon himself described on your show. Sports entertainment versus pro wrestling. WrestleMania is a spectacle. It's a show unlike any other. I've never heard from a person who has watched a WrestleMania and not been like, God damn, was that a fun show?
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Putting on a fun show, and by the way, watching Pat McAfee kick Austin Theory's head off before being betrayed by Mr. McMahon.
No.
I don't think so.
He came right here and had a conversation with me.
Good guy.
It was good. He shook Boston Connor's hand. He shook their hand.
Shouldn't have.
Vince said, let's go shake their hands.
Exactly.
And he did.
Yeah. He said, I want to shake your hand.
Right here.
Yeah.
Look, I saw Brock Lesnar on your show. You guys seem like best friends, but then I was in Brooklyn on Friday, and you ran so fast you fell on your face because you knew that if Brock caught you, he would have ripped your head off your body.
Yeah.
It's just the name of the game.
That chair would have came across my head, I think. By the way, Brock Lesnar comes on, great conversation. We have great conversations all the time, you know?
Yeah.
All the time, great conversation. Every time we have a conversation, great conversation. And when I saw him just walking around with that goddamn chair, and he was heading back towards commentary table, and I potentially knew how much time was left in the show at that time, and I knew something was going to have to happen. A lot of things started adding up for me, and I'm like, oh no, this one ain't for me. I don't think so. This is a situation. If you watch the film back, and we have it, Foxy has it. If a bear is ever chasing you, what do they say, right? You don't have to outrun the bear. You just have to outrun whoever's with you. Right? Because the bear will then get said person. You watch that back, I fucking skip in front of Michael Cole. Like, he's to my left, obviously, and I'm sprinting to the right. I jump up over a chair past Michael Cole, headphones off, right into the crowd. That is, and as I was sprinting out, the wires for like the cameras were kind of being moved, you know, because he was running all over the place. Tricked me. I landed right on almost my face in the Barclays Center out of there, nowhere. And I may or may not have talked to Cowboy Brock afterwards. And his only response was, your eyes were so big. He said, I've never seen your eyes so large. I guess whenever we made eye contact and he started marching back towards me, the eyes just went like, oh no. And he saw me going, no fucking way is this happening. And then I got out of there. Wrestling is so much fun. I have no idea how people don't fall in love with it. I don't get it, honestly.
And that's the thing too, like with somebody like Brock too, and I think that people who aren't wrestling fans don't understand that, like, it's not just fun and games. Like, if Brock Lesnar catches you, Brock Lesnar makes his money convincing people that he can kick the shit out of people. If you don't run away fast enough, if Brock Lesnar catches you, we're not gonna do a wrestling play. We're not gonna pull our punches. Brock Lesnar's gonna kick the shit out of you
because he has
That's
to.
how he makes his money.
Because that is who he is. That is what has to happen. And that's the difference between, I think, like the WWE and some other type of shows, that happen live. It's like, I guess there is like a, hey, this is going to happen, but like, is it? I mean, it is. It's wild out there. I've enjoyed it so much. You doing the kickoff shows, was that your first? That's your first dip into the actual company? And how long did they know? Like, oh, we got this guy who does this massive show that AJ Hawk's a fan of, and he's just a big fan of ours. How did that whole thing start?
I was on Opie and Anthony first, and I'd been doing wrestling interviews for a long time whenever I could. And I was kind of doing my own sideshows and everything, and I was moving, and I met Michael Cole years ago, and he knew that I was a huge fan, but also knew that, I did these interviews and tried to bring him into the mainstream world that I was a part of. And then it actually was it was the first year that I started doing Jim and Sam. I got a phone call, and it was from Michael Cole, and he said, look, dude, I've been trying to get people from the outside media world as part of these kickoff shows forever, and I finally got an approval on it. You're the first phone call. Do you want to come do a kickoff show? I was like, yeah, Michael Cole. Yeah,
here we
go. I want to come do a kickoff show.
Yeah,
that sounds great. And he goes, okay, we'll bring you in this once. We'll bring you in for this one show, and then we'll see how it goes.
Hey, if you're the shits, we ain't calling you back. I mean, sorry.
That was 5 years ago.
Oh, let's go!
Hey.
No big deal. You're like the old vet on those. When I got there, you were, because you knew so much more than I did. It was fun. It was fun working with you, though, man. I'll never forget. He had to do my tie because they forced me to wear a tie there early. I didn't know how to tie. I didn't know how to do it, so he tied my tie in there. It was a good time, Sam. I was very lucky for you, man. Go ahead, Ty.
Sam, being as big of a fan of the industry as you are, and you've had, Undertaker and all these guys on your podcast, do you ever get starstruck when you're around some of these people who you've been fans of like your entire life?
Yeah, I mean, especially like the guys who don't really have a separation from that character. Like, you could talk to the Undertaker 100 times, he's still going to be the Undertaker. Like, when you meet Vince, I'm sure you guys know, you're not like, oh, Mr. McMahon the performer, but this is Vince. You're like, it's one and the same. Stone Cold's like that, it's one and the same. And so, yeah, there is this weird kind of starstruck and separation that you make when you're like, no, like I'm not sitting on my couch watching this thing or analyzing this thing or coming up with storytelling ideas. Like, this is the human being, and it's really amazing to get into those guys' brains and where they kind of take their performance and blend in the reality, and then when the performance comes into their reality and vice versa, it's amazing.
The attention to detail, I don't think gets talked about a lot. Like, there's so many thoughts behind everything. Why your hair is the way it is, what clothes you're wearing, why you walk the way you walk, talk the way you talk. Like, there is so much attention to detail in it. I think people that aren't into it have no idea, but it is wild. Go ahead, AJ.
Sam, is there a chance that we may see Dwayne The Rock Johnson possibly show up to WrestleMania? I know season 2 of Young Rock has already started, and that's obviously gangbusters. But is he going to find some time, you think, and maybe come out there?
I would love to see it. If he does, it should be to confront Pat for trying to steal his catchphase every other week.
They haven't let me hit it yet. You know this. Yeah, they haven't let me hit it yet. That's unbelievable.
You'll get it in there.
I hope so. Maybe.
I think it's a matter of time, man. I think when you look at what Roman has been doing and the level that he's been doing it on, I think there's an inevitability there. And whether it's this year at WrestleMania, whether it's next year, whether it's 5 years from now, I mean, The Rock keeps himself in fighting shape. That's obvious. So, I think it's a matter of time before Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Roman Reigns are face to face. And yeah, when that happens, I'm gonna look like that meme from South Park with the guy sitting at the computer. It's gonna be amazing.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Jesus.
Super excited.
Yeah, I guess so.
Just babies everywhere.
Sam,
Wow.
Logan loves it. Hey, okay, here we go. So that's the biggest match of all time in your eyes, huh?
Right now, Rock versus Roman. I mean, you know it because you get to see it every week. But the stuff that Roman is doing right now.
Here we go.
It's not next level wrestling storytelling. It's next level storytelling. It's the best thing on TV. Ooh. There's nothing better than Roman Reigns and the Bloodline and We the Ones and the whole thing. It's
Sam,
incredible.
do you watch anything other than wrestling? Do you?
I watch a ton of stuff. Yeah, I watch a lot of TV. Only thing I don't watch is sports.
That's awesome.
I love movies. I love shows. I'm watching that Uber show on Showtime.
Super pumped, yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
All right. So do you think like that's how you get that's probably how he, like, why don't you watch sports though? Never was introduced to sports? Like, was wrestling the only introduction to sports?
Well, my dad would have loved if I was into sports. Like, my dad's a big baseball fan. He likes football. He went to Michigan State, so he watches football and everything. He was impressed that, like, I was getting to share the stage with you when we were doing those kickoff shows because, I mean, you're Pat McAfee. And plus, my uncle grew up in Indianapolis, so he's like, "Does Sam know Pat?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know. What is he, the guy with the podcast?"
Yeah, exactly. But you're like so synonymous now with wrestling. Like your entire, in our world, I guess. Now, Jim and Sam obviously different. You do a lot of comedy with comedians, but you're like one of the most synonymous people with wrestling out there right now. Almost a voice of wrestling and for wrestling.
I mean, I love it. It's been the thing that I've loved more than anything since anything I can remember. Like, you know, when I'm a little kid, I'm dressed up as wrestlers. And there's no dip out, right? Like, there's no, like, I'm a little kid who's super into wrestling, and then I dip out and start dating and doing cool things and then get back into wrestling. Like, that middle part never happened. So it's just all the way through, obsessed with wrestling. Nobody understands it, but, I mean, it's when wrestling's good, man, when professional wrestling, sports entertainment, when it's good, there's nothing better on the planet.
I agree, by the way. I'm a big fan. I'm very...
Hey, Sam, Pat, I got a quick question. Sam, you ever think about packing maybe 30, 40 pounds of muscle on and getting inside that ring?
I mean, look, I don't want to say anything. I have filled out a little bit in the last couple years.
Wow.
You know.
Have you?
A little bit, you know. Yeah, sure. I'm in there. Look, there's another thing that I've faced from the time I was a very young man, right? It's that, number one, I love wrestling. Number two, there's an element of genetics that goes into being an athlete, right? Like, there are a lot of people who, no matter how bad they want it, there's an element, there's hard work and practice and a brain that works on the field and all this stuff, but also an element of genetics is the first step. And that was a hurdle to get past. When I'm 7 or 8 years old, I'm going to be a wrestler when I grow up. And my parents are like, "Oh yeah, great. Yeah. I mean, yeah, good for you then." So yeah, I mean, of course I would love to, but at the same time, my coordination and athletic ability might prohibit that.
I've seen, we tried to call you yesterday so AJ could say hello. That's why we had today. And he said he was in the gym. Said he was in the gym. Are you lifting, running? What are you trying to do? To live longer or get buff?
No, I'm no cardio. Lift. Okay. Oh. You know who helped?
That's hilarious.
Helped me with my deadlift.
Oh.
World's strongest man, Mark Henry.
Oh, wow. That guy can deadlift a lot of things.
Yeah. It's his idea of, I think he thought we were like in the middle when we maxed out. He was still in this space and telling me to put 30 more pounds on. Like, bro.
No, that's it for today. Thanks. Thanks, Mark. He's a great dude. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Sam, you're talking about Vince McMahon possibly stabbing Pat in the back, and we all know that's not going to happen. But what about the wise man with the tribal chief? Because it seems like he might flip-flop with Brock Lesnar if things go wrong for Roman.
Wow.
Man, here's the ththing about the wise man is that even if he wanted to flip-flop, I don't even think Brock would take him back at this point.
Oh, no.
Brock's this type of guy. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, can't fool me again. And that's Brock Lesnar. So, like, I think that Paul Heyman Paul Heyman.
You said that, not me. Just want to let everybody know. I saw him with a chair. Yeah, you
might have to learn how to run.
Yeah. Well, maybe a little cardio.
I think Paul Heyman sees who and what Roman is right now. I don't think Paul Heyman is flip-flopping. I don't think, even when he was back with Brock for a hot minute there, I don't think it was a serious thing. I think that his heart was with Roman Reigns from the beginning. I think his heart remains with Roman Reigns. And honestly, if you're looking at the landscape, God bless Brock Lesnar, but if you can attach yourself to any superstar in the world of sports entertainment right now, Roman Reigns is that guy.
AJ, how about your thoughts?
Yeah, I love Roman. What do you mean with his football background? He came on the show. He was awesome. But I will add one more quick one for Sam.
Oh, no thoughts?
What?
No thoughts
What
on
the
what
hell?
Paul Heyman should
Yeah,
do?
what about the wise man, AJ?
A big reason I'm a fan of this guy is because he came on your show, Sam, and was a great character. Fandango, back in the day. What the hell happened, and why is this guy not in the WWE?
Man, I love Fandango. He came on, that was WrestleMania 29, to promote himself. He had Jim Norton lotion up his body for him. He had the sequins on and everything in that radio studio. He is an incredible entertainer. I love that guy, and he was around for a while. I think the thing with Fandango, and this is the thing that people run into, is that, like, there's a short shelf life on things, and it's like, okay, we've established that he's a ballroom dancer. Okay, we've established that he's a good wrestler. Like, where do we go from here? And you kind of pin yourself into this corner, because it's not like he can say, well, I'm not a ballroom dancer anymore. Because then you go, well, then why the hell is your name Fandango? Right? And so it gets a little lost in
Hey, I was potentially a part of his last seg on WWE television. Yeah.
Really?
I think so. Yeah, we got to meet him, as did AJ, and AJ said these exact same things to him in person as he just asked you. And I think it was his last seg. I kicked Tyler Breeze, I believe.
Yes.
Fandango left after that. He commented on one of my Instagrams. He said, "You retired me, kid." He is hilarious. That dude, hilarious human being.
Here's the best part about Fandango. Last year at NXT Stand and Deliver, he was on the pre-show in a tag match with Tyler Breeze. And he said that they called him like either day of or the night before saying, hey, can you come to Orlando and be a part of this pre-show? And he said, can I dress like a pirate? And they said, yeah, I guess so. He goes, all right, then I'll do it. He would only come if he could do the match dressed as a pirate.
Hilarious.
And you bet your about $1 he was dressed as a pirate that night.
His commitment to that Dango character was unbelievable. Now he's wrestling, I think, in underwear. Like, actually, I saw him post something. He is fantastic. I believe he's a contractor as well, builds homes.
Oh, wow.
Hey.
Yeah,
building.
Like a guy you would like to meet for sure. Go ahead, Tone.
Sam, what do you think's going to happen to that imitative, unoriginal, uninventive, cliched, predictable clown, Kevin Owens?
Yes.
It would be it would be stupendous if the Texas rattlesnake killed him.
Hell yeah.
Jesus.
Hell yeah.
Wow. I mean, I don't know that I could advocate for the straight up murder of the WWE superstar.
Man.
I don't know that I want to see Kevin Owens dead.
Kevin Owens did not deserve that.
Yeah, he did.
God damn it.
Look, I'll tell you this. Kevin Owens was very abusive to the audience on Raw a couple of weeks ago, playing that Stone Cold song, letting the glass shatter twice in one segment and roping these people along.
Awesome.
Look, man, I can't imagine anything that would satisfy a stadium full of people in Dallas more than hearing that glass shatter and watching Stone Cold Steve Austin trudge to the ring. I'm going to go shorts, no shirt, vest, and just start dropping stunners on everybody. But here's why I'm excited, okay?
With Eugene.
Because this ain't Steve Austin. This isn't just like a little appearance from an ex-WWE guy. Stone Cold is back. I heard it in the promo. I heard it with what Kevin Owens was saying. for the first time since 19, Stone Cold is back.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's what we're looking forward to.
Goddamn right. Thank you so much, Sam, for your time today.
Thank you.
Honestly, you are such a nice AJ is the worst.
Just going through the Rolodex in my head of wrestling.
I mean, look. Eugene returning.
2 months.
Eugene versus Gilbert. Oh, see you there.
All right. I appreciate you, Sam. That was
You're the
incredible.
man, Pat.
I think a lot of people just got a chance to witness somebody who has an incredible passion for sports entertainment. And there's arenas sold out every single week, 2 times a week. It is crazy to feel the WWE universe out there every single week. It's awesome. It's really my only time out of either this office or my house is when I'm in these arenas. And it is. And if we come to a town near you, it is worth it. The live shows are, you can literally yell, kill him to somebody. It's awesome. As are you, ladies and gentlemen, Sam Roberts. Thank you.
Thank you.
Woo! WrestleMania 5 days away, AJ, my
go.
WrestleMania debut.
So close. When are you heading out of town?
I think manana. We'll have a house down there, though. We'll do the show from the house. Boys are coming. We'll also have a couple people perch out back here because we have to for tech purposes. So we're going to have a good time. Continue to be able to do the show as is, coming to you live from a rather monster, I think, Airbnb down there.
Here we go.
It's interesting. The neighborhood we're going into, I guess, is not going to be necessarily thrilled.
You going to like Highland Park, one of those nice areas?
I'm not sure. We know the address. We don't know the area, I don't think. Zito's got to fucking drive. Hey, Z, we appreciate you.
Thank you, Steve.
I'll find out if it's in Highland
Safe
Park.
travels down there. Zito's driving down there because all of our camera equipment that we have to take down and all of our stuff. It's a Zito production down there, and it's going to be glorious. And we appreciate you, Z. That conversation with Sam Roberts, I assume, and I get the tweets from people that watch the show that hate whenever we talk wrestling. It's like, man, I understand. Okay, I got something big coming up here. I'm appreciative of the boys' support. I'm appreciative of AJ's support. But it is a cool thing, too. Maybe you should check it out every once in a while.
Yeah.
Maybe you should check it out. It is. Obviously, you can't go in there and be like, all right, I want this to go by the book.
WrestleMania is different too.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is.
Brantley Gilbert, I believe, is performing.
What?
I believe Brantley Gilbert.
What day?
Saturday.
When?
shit.
When do they have performers?
I'm not sure.
Saturday.
At halftime.
I honestly wish I could tell anybody anything, but I think they purposely don't tell me anything because I have this show every day. Let's not tell Pat till the day of, please. Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, he is a little mouthy, a little long-winded.
Who knows? Maybe you do break some news whenever there's not much going on in free agency.
Wait, yeah, what is going on? The rules change. We got to get to a break. We'll be back on the other side to wrap up this hour. Then we'll dive into the rules changes. I was trying to bide some time there with an incredible conversation with Sam Roberts for something to happen. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Something would happen.
Talk about how Andy Dalton goes Saints affects Ian Book, okay?
Yeah, see, that's not our show.
Yeah, they got to look at Ian Book too. Unfortunately.
We just did it. We're back in 4 minutes.